ClickUp 3.0 is here and is more powerful than ever, but don't waste your time fumbling around. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the best new ClickUp features, including Home, Hubs, Universal Search, and ClickUp AI. Are you ready? So let's get started with the new home screen. This is really going to be your productivity home base as you get to customize the look and feel of everything that is happening. So whether you want to see your agenda, whether you want to see those tasks that are assigned to you, you can create this space any way that you like. Here in the top right-hand corner, we have our Manage Cards button. And by selecting this, you can see the different types of cards in which we can add or which we can hide from this screen. So for example, if I want to remove the agenda, I just need to select this button here. If I want to remove the lineup, which is a very customizable card here, I can remove that here as well. And if I ever want to add something back, I can simply just add it to the home screen. Let's go ahead and add those two back. Now by default, you will notice that they will bring them back at the bottom of the screen. So here is my lineup card. Here is my agenda card. But the additional benefit of this home screen is that we can edit this entire layout to our heart's content. Just beside the Manage Cards button, we have this Edit Layout toggle. By selecting this, we can take any of these cards and we can reduce their size. We can lengthen their size if we want to see more, but I really do want to see my agenda. So I'm going to click and drag, and maybe I'm going to bring that to my top right-hand corner. And maybe that lineup, something where I can customize and add tasks specifically for me, I'm going to grab that as well. And I want that front and center, but I don't need it to span the entire width. There we go. I'm going to put my agenda there. And maybe that assigned to me, maybe on second thought, there is a lot of detail there. So let me go ahead and expand that. And now my other cards will be brought down below. Now, some other features within the home area you should be aware of is that depending on the card, you may have some other views or some other settings. So for example, here in my agenda view, I can view my agenda here. You can see that it is linked to my Google Calendar, but I can click the gear icon and select the calendar view. So if I want to see that calendar view, and maybe if I expand it out here, I can see it here as well, but I kind of prefer that more condensed agenda view. So I'm going to use that here. In addition, as I am clicking on and maybe looking at further details within any of my tasks, by default, we're going to have this standard pop-up or dialog view. But in the top right-hand corner, we can switch our layout to either a full screen or a sidebar view. And I personally like this sidebar view. You can drag and decide how wide of a sidebar view you want, but as I'm clicking on different tasks here, if I'm reviewing certain things, and remember, I can immediately start to work on them here, I still have access to my tasks and my home view here on the left-hand side. Next up, let's take a look at a new feature which makes finding what you're looking for that much easier, not only here within ClickUp, but with other apps that you can connect. At the top of the screen, we have our Universal Search. And of course, here we can search for anything within ClickUp, including things across our multiple spaces and our multiple projects. But what's better yet is that we can now search files and other folders in our connected apps. Here you can see that I've already connected my Google Drive. Why would I want to open up a new tab, log in somewhere else, and search or find that file when I can do it all here from within ClickUp? So in my example, I'm looking for a particular consulting form, and here you can see the three results here are actually all coming from my Google Drive account. This first one is what I'm looking for, so I can click on it and immediately I'm brought to the form that I want. I can start editing, I can start reviewing, and I didn't have to open up another tab or switch back and forth. I can do it all here from this Universal Search. Here within the Apps section, if we select this plus button, you can see the number of different apps which we can connect. So whether you use Drive, Dropbox, GitHub, Figma, or some other service, you can search within these applications from the convenience of your ClickUp account. Now, speaking of finding things fast, ClickUp 3.0 has introduced something new called Hubs. Here within our menu below Home and Inbox, you will see things such as Docs, dashboards, and whiteboards. These are referred to as hubs. So if I click on Docs, I now have a high-level view of all of my docs across all of my spaces. And they're conveniently categorized in a few different ways, including my most recent docs, docs that I have favorited, and docs that are created by me. And I particularly like that they've kept these nice and short. They are only showing the top 3, but if I want to see them all, I'm only a click away. Down below, I can see a full list of all of my docs, but I can also quickly filter these as well. If I want to find out things that are specifically private in this case, maybe things that are specific to a workspace, I can do so here as well. So very much like the universal search, a quicker or faster way to find all of those documents, dashboards, and whiteboards that you are looking for. Last but not least, an overview of ClickUp 3.0 would not be complete without looking at ClickUp AI. And AI is built into a variety of different places. For example, if I come here and open up this task, within the description field, I can immediately start to write with AI. By selecting this option here, I can immediately give it a prompt, ask it a question, and start to create a number of different types of content. But if I don't want to click that, or depending on where I am, I can always use that / and I can choose that option here as well. So there's a variety of different places in which you can give it this prompt. But what's better yet is the different ways in which we can get started. At the very top of the screen, just to the right of your search bar, you will see this AI button. By selecting this, we will get the same prompt, but what I appreciate is how specific we can get with what we are creating. Now, by default, we are going to be shown some of the more popular prompts, such as writing an email, creating a template. Maybe we want to generate a table. But what if you want to do something a lot more specific? You probably know by now that when it comes to getting the most out of AI, it all comes down to the prompt. So here with this dropdown, we can select a particular department or the type of work in which we are working on. So for example, maybe I'm working on some marketing. I'm going to select marketing, and immediately I am given a number of different scenarios, a number of different things that I can use right away to create something so much more valuable than just giving it a one-liner here at the top of the screen. So let's say I want to create a customer survey. I'm going to select this option, and it's going to give me just a few simple questions that I need to answer so I can create a high-quality survey. So in this example, I'm selling a bath soap for seniors. I'm telling it what my target audience is and what my survey objectives are. Last but not least, I can choose a particular tone of voice. I'm going to keep it at default, and I can also choose my level of creativity. I'm going to tone this down to medium, and then all I need to do is select generate. And of course, in just a number of seconds, it's produced a great survey, something that I can get started with. Maybe I'll only need to change a few different things before I issue it, or maybe pass it along to someone else on my team. But of course, ClickUp is going to make it that much easier for us. I can immediately create a task or create a doc. I can now turn this into something so much more actionable. I can give it an assignee, I can give it a due date, and create that task. So in a matter of seconds, I didn't have to open up another tab. I didn't have to go to ChatGPT. I didn't have to go to Google Drive. I can do it all here within ClickUp and get on with my very next task. So now that you know how to use some of the best features here in ClickUp 3.0, I'd love to hear from you next. Which features are you most excited to try out next? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and remember, being productive does not need to be difficult. In fact, it's very simple.